SOS, the new album by SZA, released December 9th, 2022. It's 23 songs, 1 hour and 8 minutes long. We are recording this the day after. This is December 10th. This is new for us. We don't do this. We typically like to give ourselves some time to let the shit breathe, to live with it, to digest it, to nourish with it, to work out with it, to sleep with it, to vibe with it, to chill with it, to drive with it, to ride with it. If you want to come and take a ride with me, three-wheeler in the back with it. But this is SZA.
Yeah.
SZA is what we in the industry call rarefied air.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can fly this high.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? So when SZA says, I'm dropping on December 9th, we say our review is dropping December 12th. Yep. So that's when you're getting it, because we can't miss out on this. And, we both knew, as has been alluded to for damn near the past 2 years of this podcast, the moment SZA drops, we're listening to that project immediately. Yeah. And so we both knew, look, there's not going to be a delay. There's no wait until Monday to listen to this shit. It's when it drops, we're listening, because we've been waiting 5 years. And so this won't be as fully fleshed out and as coherent as our other reviews are, which says something, because our other reviews are never coherent. So good luck to us and good luck to you as a listener to get through this. But we're both very excited to get into this project. And so without further ado, SZA, SOS, the new album, as she has potentially said in an interview with NME, this is her last album. Again, this is a woman who, no tea, no shade, is a pathological liar in so many different spaces and so many different realms. So we're going to take that with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, we are going to give that statement the level of gravity that it deserves. Because, man, this is someone who over, a 5-year hiatus has expressed different levels of frustration with the music industry, as it seems all of our Black songstresses do, which is a problem. So I wouldn't put it past her, but at the same time,
I'll throw it right past her.
She's a pathological liar, bro. Like, what do you...
That's a blow by.
Like, that's like... Okay. But yeah, SOS by SZA. It's here. What do you think of the album cover?
I love the album cover.
SZA want to be Baby Keem so bad.
Bam, there's something about getting water in your album.
Bro.
Yo, I really need to know, and I hope at some point they release how they captured that image, because that can't be safe. Like, I just don't know where you're finding water that clear, bro. Like that blue. Bam, it's in the Pacific Ocean. They said it
it's in the Pacific.
Bam, which is what's boggling my mind, because like that means you're on like a real ship. Like, that's not a boat, that's a ship. How did you get a diving board? Who let you walk that far out on a diving board over the Pacific Ocean? Because me and them have to have some words. Unless someone's lying. If it's not the Pacific Ocean, okay, cool. If it's the Pacific Ocean, yo, get back. It's just an album cover. Oh, we don't need all this. Drake said nothing was the same in Chicken Scratch, and it banged. You don't need to do this.
Drake dropped emojis as an album cover. Like, we don't need this. It ain't that serious. I feel you. But it's here. It's here. So what, let's dive into it, man. What were the initial thoughts? What were the initial themes that came out of your sort of first sort of musings? How many times have you been able to actually sit with this album? That would be a good question if you can answer. But yeah, what are the initial thoughts and what are the initial sort of themes that you're picking out for your first few listens?
I've only listened to it twice.
Okay.
So this review is coming from someone who's only listened to this album twice.
It's a way too early review. Let's put it like that.
Way too early. A lot of these thoughts could change over the course of a week. The reason I only listened to it twice, it just wasn't the right vibe for a lot of yesterday. I wanted to wake up, turn the album on immediately, and just have it on whilst I was working. But the way work was going, there was no way I could give this album there's no way I could listen to it how I wanted to listen to it and enjoy it the way I wanted to enjoy it with that type of stress. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna listen to it when the day quiets down a bit and like really focus on what I'm listening to, bearing in mind that I'm supposed to be reviewing this tomorrow. So I've only listened to it twice. The first thought I got when I was listening to it was, oh, okay, this is for the hurt woman out there. This is for the hurt woman out there. Then it got deeper than that. I realized, oh, it's for the hurt women who really have no intention of getting better. They want to stay hurt and they're happy in their hurt. Then it got even deeper. I said, oh, it's for the women who love making bad decisions and expect great results from those bad decisions. You know what? I messed with this. Then it got deeper. And I realized, you know what? I'm underplaying this as a whole already. I've already underplayed it. Even though all those things that I've said are true, I think ultimately what we've seen from this album and what she takes us through, it's her, for me anyway, what I gather from it is that she's lost the love of her life, or one of the loves that she's experienced in life. And it's how she copes with that and the journey she goes through that. And just that self-reflection of realizing, yo, am I the idiot? Is he the idiot? I hate him. I love him, but I hate him. And I think that makes me a fool. And just that journey that she goes on throughout, I love it. I love it. I really enjoyed this. Off 2 listens, she has me right here in this pocket. There's a lot of moments throughout this album where I said, oh, that's this person. That's my nigga. Like, yo, all my female friends should be banging this album because this is them. Any one of them could have written this album. Like, yo, I really enjoyed this album. I really, really enjoyed this album. It's been a great listen. I think it makes sense to me now why SZA took so much time, especially like, I don't think we would have gotten this album if she said, okay, I'm dropping the album 2 years after her last one. It feels like she really like went through life and then made an album. You know, this feels personal. And I don't know if we would have gotten it that quick after the last one. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a very big fan of it.
This is the best, man.
Yep.
Look, as a professional piece of shit who refuses to reform, this is what I needed. I needed another one of these albums. Janae's great at giving me these as well. And Summer's great at giving me singles like this too. The professional piece of shit, I needed an album. A body of work. A collection of songs that really allowed me to live in I'm a piece of shit. And I'm not changing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can't accept me like that, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? For not accepting me in all of my piece of shitness.
Yeah.
And it's not like I lied to you. I told you I was a piece of shit from the get-go. And for you to now come back to me 3 months later, like, you're such a piece of shit. I can't believe you. What do you mean? I told you. Bam. I told you.
How dare you?
How dare you? Try and put that on me.
Do you have manners?
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. It's typically vulnerable, as all of SZA's music always is. It's funny because SZA's just hilarious. She's a hilarious songwriter. Like, she's a hilarious songwriter. It's vulgar because SZA's a vulgar songwriter too. She's honest, which I love. I mean, she's not honest. She's a pathological liar. But she presents honest representations of life. Yeah. Like, you will listen to her music, and just like you said, you will be able to equate it to, I remember when this person was going through this, like, just like 2 months ago. Or I remember when I went through this, like, just like, this relates to me. I've been in this exact same situation. Man, like, when on one of the songs, she was like, you were balls deep, now we beefing, and we butt naked in the, like, you know, those situations where niggas are like, man, like, how many times you see the tweet? It's crazy how you could be like with someone every single day and then you never talk anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've been there.
Yep.
Not necessarily me, but not necessarily not me, but not necessarily me. So I love that. there's an amalgamation of sounds here,
Mm-hmm.
but the theme stays consistent.
Yep.
Like Kill Bill doesn't sound like Far,
Mm-hmm.
but the theme stays consistent. I'm far from my ex.
Yep.
I gotta go kill my ex.
Mm-hmm. Fam.
I understand. I don't resonate with it,
but
I understand the thought process that got you there.
You
know what I'm saying?
Fam, it's one that, like, I don't listen. If that's what you want to do, I get it. I wouldn't.
Let me even give you the analogy, right?
Mm.
The answer is wrong, but you've shown your workings. I get it.
You're not gonna get all 6.
You're not gonna get all 6 marks. But I can give you 4. I can give you 4 for the workings.
Oh my god. You're not serious.
What are some of the songs that stood out for you on your first 2 lessons? I snuck in a third. So I got 3 lessons in. I snuck in a third. I listened to it. I was working from home, so I listened to it on the wake up. I went out to Lidl, so I listened to it in the Lidl shop, which was beautiful. And then just in the evening while I was sipping my red wine, you know, my Olivia Pope 1942 Dubélé, eating my dinner, which was, of course, you know, the sweet and salted popcorn, just like my idol. I snuck in a third listen. So I got 3. I got 3 good listens in. So what were some of the songs that stood out of your first or 2 listens?
There were a lot of songs that stood out to me. A lot of songs. Gone Girl stood out. Man, the way Gone Girl ends, oh my god, that was one of those. And maybe I could have got 3 listens in. I was wheeling up a lot of the songs. Gone Girl, the line I think said was, "Memories drown me the further I go, and ain't nobody talking about the damage, acting like it's all okay. I tried to erase, I tried to escape." When I heard that, I was like, whoa, hold on.
Mine off that song, not to cut you off, but just because we're here, mine off that song was where she was like, "Squeezing too tight, boy, you're losing me." Like, you're like, you're squeezing me, bro. Like, I need my space.
Bam.
Like,
that's what
I need, your touch, not your scrutiny.
That Paul. And this is like for Gone Girl, especially in Gone Girl, I feel like the image, not even the image, let me not even say the image. I feel like it was one of the clearest looks I've gotten of heartbreak that I haven't been, not even that, I haven't had anything, like, I don't know the person. I don't know SZA. Me and SZA aren't boys. I can't speak to SZA's behaviors. But it was like when she was going through this song, it was like, oh, I see, like, I can suddenly understand a lot better the situations that I've heard other people go through. Because me personally, I haven't experienced heartbreak as a full-grown man. So I can't relate to a lot of it. A lot of what people are telling me a lot of the time when they're telling me about their heartbreaks. It was one of the clearest images I got of heartbreak. It was one of the clearest images I got of how, oh, okay, you were this and now you're here. Like, I really, really love Gone Girl for all of that. At the same time, Paul, at the same time, SZA spending too much time with TDE. The reason I say this, not too much time with TDE, too much time specifically with the members of Black Hippie. The reason I say this is because the last thing I expected off this album,
she's the best rapper in the game.
Paul,
let's just get to it.
Paul, who told her that she should come and start rapping and be cold at it?
You talking about smoking on my X-Pac?
I'm talking about smoking on my X-Pac.
Look, first of all, I need to give credit where credit is due. Jay Versace is the producer.
Oh, he
might be the best producer in the game. Like, for him to be, this is Jay Versace that was the divine guy.
Bam.
And for him to produce tracks with Westside Gunn and Boldy James. And now when I saw, oh yeah, I produced this song on SZA's album, I'm like, what is SZA doing over a Jay Versace beat?
She's killing it.
That's what she's doing.
She's killing it. Yo, I couldn't believe that was one of the greatest shocks yesterday, was just hearing her really rap, like really, like, not half-hearted. She was like, yo, you know what, yeah, I really feel like showing these guys that I could have been the 5th Black Hippie if I wanted to.
She might need a Jay-Z bus.
Fam, Jay-Z might be violated by not returning that verse. She said there was a few verses you were waiting on. I know it was Jay.
I know it was a Hove verse. I know it was a Hove verse.
I can see what Hove would do. He'll be like, Hove did. Give us 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, that was one of the shocks of the album for me. And there's ultimately there's a lot more songs. I mean, it's a long album. There's a lot of songs on here that I could go into more detail on. One thing I do want to mention, and I think it's important to mention, is I think the lead singles that were chosen off of this album, and saying that, I don't even know if they were chosen as lead singles to be off of this album, or if they were singles that were added into the album and just fit in seamlessly. But the singles that were chosen, to me, they were perfect selections. I think Shirt is an amazing song still, even in the context of the album. I think Good Days is a perfect song still, even in the context of the album. I think I Hate You is a great song still, even in the context of the album. So all of those were still highlights for me. And then you have songs like Far. You have songs like Snooze. Oh my God, you have songs like Snooze. You have songs like
Do you know who produced Snooze?
Nah, who?
Babyface.
They swear it was Babyface. I knew Babyface produced something on here. I didn't know what he produced though. That's crazy. Wow. There's a lot of songs on here, man. There's just a lot of songs that are crazy on this album, man. And man, it just two listens in, I'm blown away. I'm excited for the next time I get to play this album already.
What do you think of it? Because you mentioned it, what did you think of the length of the album?
I think it was long. And in an ideal world, I probably would have cut it down maybe 4-5 songs shorter. But saying that, I don't know what I cut out. And obviously, I'm only 2 listens in, so I wouldn't know what I would cut out yet. There was no songs that I immediately listened to and said, I don't like this, on to the next one, or I wish I could skip this, but I'm reviewing it, so let me listen to it. Maybe I'll feel differently in a week, but right now, I have no clue what you would cut out. And because of that, I'm not upset at the length. I think if all these songs need to be here, then that's just the length that's the length this album needs to be.
Okay. Personally, I think I'd cut out the lead, because I don't think they were lead singles. I think they were Lucy's that are now added to the album to boost up streams. Maybe the only one that I think was actually designed for the album was maybe probably Shut. But I would definitely cut out Shut and Good Days. Not that they're bad songs, I just don't think they're necessarily needed on the album. I Hate You fits perfectly in the album, so we leave that right there. Just because I think you glossed over something on Smoking on My X Pack, and I'd be remiss if we didn't bring it up. On that song, she said, I heard that dick was whack. Your favorite athlete screaming, texting me back.
Fam, not around with me, because Pascal, what you did?
No. Listen, what's the over under that? That's KD.
It could so easily be KD.
That's just the first indicator about that. That's definitely
KD. Yo, that could so easily be KD.
No, we're not talking about Castro. We're talking about the other KD, the second one.
King Disease too?
No. Sorry, the fourth one. Kevin Durant.
Oh, Easy Money Sniper. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Slim Reaper.
Right. No, it could easily be him. It could.
SZA's amazing in terms of songs and in terms of her songwriting. And I know we're not there yet, but I need to get that. She is absolutely
elite,
sensational. It's so amazing. The concepts that she touches upon and the way she touches upon them, again, like the honesty that comes through in her music and the honest representations of what be happening, like on Far, like that verse one of Far is so like, I mean, like you said, you've never been heartbroken as a grown adult. I feel like I'm still not a grown adult, but society defines me as one. So based on society standards, have I been heartbroken as a grown adult? Absolutely. And like the way in which she explains that and explains the actions that relate to that on Far I be drinking in private. Don't call me to party. Like, yeah, don't. Like, I need a few brews. I need a palm tree. Like, I need to get away. Nice. I need to be far away from here. Like, I'm far away from me. I don't recognize myself. Like, lately, I feel less cool as before. Nobody out here to tell me I'm special. Like, it's, like she really encapsulates those feelings in very, very good ways. Gone Girl, I completely agree with you, man. What she did on Gone Girl was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Again, that sense of like losing herself and losing the person, losing herself in losing her person. Was dope.
It's like what she done on Special, man. I gave all my special to you.
Duh.
No way you're gonna say that and I'm gonna say you're the best ever. No way. I gave all my. Can you even give Special? Oh my goodness gracious. My God. No, yeah. She was in her bag. All over this album, she was in her bag. And it was like she'll just keep on doing it, Paul. Every single time I'll be like, man, that was the one. Then a song later, 2 songs later, 3 songs later, it's like, man, she is like really like the detail. It just makes sense. Like it's one of the first times where it's like I've heard this side of the story and it's like, oh, I get what you're trying. I get why you're going through it now. Like, because people don't ever really explain why they're going through it so bad, other than, man, I'm heartbroken, I'm going through it, give me space. Her explaining, yo, I'm heartbroken, give me space because I really like, I'm rattled. Like this, I feel like I'm losing my self-identity. I feel like this, I feel like this, I feel like this. This is what this has done to me. Man, I'm still in love with my ex, so this is causing me even more issues, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yo, this whole picture that you've now painted is elite. And then to call the album SOS is like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Like, yo, this is a complete project. Like, oh, man. No, shout out to SZA. Shout out to SZA, man. Like, this is art. It's art.
And I, again, would be remiss if I didn't talk about Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Now, Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And she makes a lot of Tarantino references throughout this album. Like there's a line on let me even find it because I just had it up. Where is it?
Even the music video for Shirt is a massive Tarantino reference.
Yeah, the music video for Shirt. On Snooze in verse 2. In verse 2, she's like, in a drop top ride with you, I feel like Scarface, like that white bitch with the bob, I'll be your main one. Like that white bitch with the bob is most definitely Uma Thurman's character in Pulp Fiction. Mia Wallace, like that's the inspiration for that line. And then you take it back to Kill Bill, which is again Uma Thurman playing the protagonist in that, and like I'm still a fan even though I was salty. Man. That's the issue. I'm only salty because I'm still a fan. Hate to see you with some other broad, know you're happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving.
Man, what?
And then I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's
other. Oh my word!
Because these people think just going to therapy fixes everything, and that's what I mean. I'll go, but that doesn't mean I'm actually working on myself.
I'm just here. Like she's telling me what I knew.
Like that's it. Like we're both just saying, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. There's no working through that. We're just identifying a problem.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this verse is nuts.
I might kill my ex. It's not the best idea.
Fam.
And then his girlfriend's next.
Fam. The picture she's painting.
I'd rather be in jail than alone. My conclusion is SZA is not any of your mates.
Any.
I've been the one up here saying that Snow had it quiet for these women for 2 summers. And I believe that's true.
It's facts.
Snow might have to retaliate.
Fam, if I'm Snow, I can't take this.
You might have to retaliate.
Yo, I can't lie. In one album drop, one pool, I think SZA has cemented herself as one of the greatest R&B acts like we've ever seen.
She's one of the greatest R&B artists of our generation, period. And yeah, like
we're talking about generation.
We'll see how this album grows. We'll see how this album grows. But I think like everyone and their grandmother knows that Control is one of the single greatest R&B projects to ever be dropped.
Yeah.
And so if this album continues in the celebratory fashion that, you know, we're talking about it now, that I've seen reaction of social media be, and lives anywhere near that, you're talking about 2 back to back, let alone the features, let alone she's the one on All the Stars. Like, yeah, Kendrick has a verse, but that's SZA's song.
Fam. If we're talking generation here, I don't even think it's close. I think she's the best R&B artist of her generation. And I think when it comes to like, I think she's in all-time conversations now. I think we have to start mentioning her with the greats.
I'd put up a fight for Janae. But I'm not mad if Janae loses that. Yeah. I'm not mad if Janae loses that. But I also think, for me, Janae's an all-timer. So, and on top of that, Janae has longevity in terms of more projects. But no, I feel you. I think she's by far and away one of the greatest of her generation. And that's not even debatable and not even close. And then with how this album will live and will grow. And again, just there's a gravity when SZA drops. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a gravity when she drops a single. Like, I remember coming on here and saying it. Like, I listened to Good Days for the first time and I didn't have any good days after that. We 2 years gone. I still haven't had a good day since.
You just started this podcast saying it was a great week.
I said it was a great week. Did I say I had a good day?
Yeah, I having a great week filled with bad days.
Because I thrive in darkness. I thrive in darkness.
Uncle Batman.
God, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right? I'm the Joker. Don't do that. Don't do that. Niggas try to be happy out here. Try to be the Riddler. Piss off. I don't even necessarily want to talk about production, but I think it's great. I think it's great. I think there's so many different elements that are really great. Like I said, I mean, the last thing I expected to hear was SZA rapping, as you said, as you so alluded to. The last thing I expected to hear was SZA rapping over a Wu-Tang beat on Forgiveless at the end.
Oh my goodness.
Rest in peace, ODB. But yeah, like,
I mean, in terms of production, this album, in terms of how this album as a whole was produced, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially with, and one thing I noticed on even my first listen through is a lot of the beats varied, and there were different vibes on this album. And you alluded to it earlier. We get SZA in her R&B bag as expected. We get her in her more soulful bag as expected. We get her in her rap bag, which shock of the century. Even bigger shock, we get her on F2F, where it's like, oh, you want to be a rock star as well on this album. Like, I did not expect any rock vibes off of a SZA album, and it all works on the same project. And that was very impressive to me. The fact that nothing sounded out of place, the fact that nothing sounded like forced in or didn't need this here was shocking to me, because
this woman said I hate me enough for the two of us.
My God.
That's real.
My God.
She said, I fuck you because I really miss you.
Yo, I couldn't believe some of the things I was hearing on this. Yo, this. Listen, guys. Listen, please, if you're listening to this now, men and people, in fact, anyone who is potentially in a relationship with any woman out there, please listen closely. I need you guys to watch how hard your female love interest is relating to this song, to some of these songs.
Preach it, let's go.
Because it's gonna be telling. A lot of relationships are gonna have to end because you guys are gonna learn something new.
You're gonna have to have a conversation.
Bam! She said, when I'm with him, I picture you. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna be the one to tell you how to live your life. But please be safe out there. Because it's a treacherous time. It's treacherous. I know some of you guys are spending your what's it called? What's that thing called? Winter. Oh, was it Winter Wonderland money?
Yeah.
You're trying hard to win prizes for
You're
your
going
girl.
to Christmas markets.
My God.
Ice skating. You're cold. You don't skate. You don't roller skate. And now you're going ice skating. Yeah.
Fam, you told her to bring a jacket out. She didn't. Now you have to give her your jacket. You're catching a cold. And she's still picturing her ex. Be safe. Be safe out there, man. Be safe. Oh, man. SZA, man. Great. This album is... Fam, off of 2 listens, for her to have this impact off of 2 listens is crazy to me.
Can we wrap this up and just agree that this is fucking phenomenal?
Yeah. Are you ready? Ready to give it?
I don't think we need to do anything else. Like, unless you want to point out some songs, but I feel like we damn near talked about the whole album.
We have. So what? We just get to the point where we give it our stamp, right?
Do you have a favorite song at this point?
My favorite song right now is probably Kill Bill.
Okay.
Kill Bill and Shirt are probably up there. I think both of them are examples of what SZA does that makes her one of my favorite artists. What SZA does that made me come in a few weeks ago and say this is like SZA might be my favorite thing in R&B, which is she's mastered the art of cadence to me, where she knows exactly what to do on a song, exactly when to do it, and it works damn near every time. Like on Shirt, where she just speeds up. She goes from, oh, this is a very slow melodic song to, oh no, like we're right here. Like she's able to dip in and out of bags seamlessly in songs, and it's always perfect. And I think the best 2 examples of that, Kill Bill and Shirt. Do you have a favorite yet? Or...
I'm right there with you. I got Kill Bill and then Ghost in the Machine. I love Phoebe Bridgers. Phoebe Bridgers is someone who I don't listen to, but every single song I've ever heard of hers, it's like, you are a fucking phenomenal artist, and I really should listen to you. And that continued right here on this track. She was phenomenal, and that song is just blew me out the water. That was one of the ones, especially when the track list dropped, like that was one of the ones I was really anticipating, because Phoebe Bridgers is someone like in that vein for me. And that was
Fam, that was one that I didn't know what to expect, because I personally haven't heard the name Phoebe Bridgers or noticed it before. Maybe she's been on albums I've listened to before.
She hasn't.
Okay, cool. But even in that, like, fam, when her part started, when her verse started, or her little hook started there, I was like, yo, I got immediate goosebumps. Like, that was crazy. Yep. The features on this album, by the way, because I'd be remiss if we didn't someone touch on it, every single one slaps. Don Toliver goes crazy. Phoebe Bridgers goes crazy. Travis Scott, I kind of hope his next album is like more in line with R&B, because he really impressed me here. I didn't expect him to shine on like R&B vibe songs like how he shine on this one, even though he did a great job on SZA's last album on the intro. I forget the song name now.
Love Galore.
What was that?
Love Galore.
Love Galore. Yeah, he did a great job on Love Galore. So maybe I should have seen it come in, but it still threw me off guard, especially on Open Arms. Oh my goodness. And as we said earlier, man, Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace. That was, fam, this outro is why I don't believe her. Forgiveless is exactly why I don't believe her when she said this is my last album, because you're not ending the album like this. I'm ready for the sequel. You can't end an album like this and tell me that this is the last album you're ever doing. No, you're not. You're giving me at least a few EPs. At least a few EPs. You better pray I don't become president. Do you think I would demand more albums from her?
Question for you, in light of something you said on the podcast a few months ago now. A few months ago now, you came on the podcast and you asked me a question, and I disagreed because I don't necessarily feel the same way I do about the artist. But you said, is Blast the like go-to feature artist now for like all of these rappers? Do you still feel that way now? Like, I can't remember when that was in the year. Was it after Kendrick's album? It was like Kendrick Kehlani's album time, right? So like summertime.
Yeah, it was around that time.
So summertime essentially, right? So if we're like now gone through the rest of the year, do you still feel that way in light of something like, especially like Don Toliver on this album, and then Don Toliver on like Metro's album and different albums he's been on, even 21 Savage? Like, do you still feel that way?
Yes and no. I still feel like he's filling in that spot that Ty Dolla $ign used to consume.
Okay.
Used to fill up. I don't know how to put it any other way. I feel like I look at what Don Toliver is doing and what 21 Savage is doing as very different to what I ever saw Ty Dolla $ign doing, if that makes sense. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's just different. It's different vibes. It's different ways I look at it. I feel like Blast still feels in that role. He definitely slowed down for the rest of the year. I haven't heard him on any project after Love Domini. So that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard him on anything since then. So I don't know. But I still don't see anyone else filling that role, especially with not hearing Ty Dolla $ign for a while now.
But is that role only then male R&B artists? Is that what you're saying?
It's not only male R&B artists. It's more so. It's very hard to put into words. It could be anyone. Anyone could do it, but it's a certain vibe where it's like damn near. It's like Lou Will. It's like Lou Will. Like Lou Will and Jamal Crawford were great players, but at the end of the day, like if you were putting them on your team, you knew that you're putting them on your team for them to be the sixth man, damn near. And that's what I mean when I'm talking. It's similar when I'm talking about Blast in that, yeah, I'm going to enjoy a Blast album if he releases an album, but I get more excited to see featuring Blast, damn near. You get what I'm saying? That's the same I felt with Ty Dolla $ign, where I will enjoy a beach house. Like, you give me a beach house, I'll enjoy it. But I'm more excited to see, oh, my favorite artist has a song featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Wow, this song might be elevated to a whole nother level now.
Take it to this, guys.
All right, man. The Two Stubborn Nigerians album ranking goes as such. I hate that I ever listened to this. Won't be listened to again. Whole lot of mid. Might stay in rotation for about a week. Pretty damn good. Serious project. And then either me and or Paul can give it our 50% stamp of approval. In the case where we both give it our 50% stamp of approval, the album becomes Two Stubborn Nigerians approved. Me personally, I'm gonna get this one out of the way quick. It has my 50% stamp of approval off of 2 listens. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Who knows? In next week, I might come in and say, hey, I'm taking my stamp of approval back. It's just a serious project. But as of right now, as of the day after this album comes out, I am giving it my stamp of approval, and there's nothing you guys can do about it.
Personally, I think that's way too soon. Mm-hmm. And you're crazy.
Yeah.
Fair. And for that reason, I'm giving it my stamp of approval. This is it's fantastic, bro. What would you want me to say? I spent 20 minutes gushing over the album. You think I'm going to come here and say, yeah, it's pretty damn good? No, nigga. This is sensational. I didn't know that. I don't think we were. I don't know what we were listening to before this album came out, but it wasn't music.
This album recontextualizes what I expect.
Thank you. Forward. I'm glad that we're on the same level, because I didn't know. Again, I don't know what I thought was music, but I don't think I'd actually heard music until I listened to it. This album is fucking phenomenal in so many ways. Some that I've been able to articulate today, and others which I don't have the capacity in my lexicon to actually say. SZA, if this is your last album. It's not, but if this is your last album, I really appreciate the years of service to the game. I appreciate all the lessons, all the laughs, all the fun times we've had. Text me back.
Yeah, you have some real nerve saying that you feel rejected. Have you even given my love a
chance? That's what I'm saying. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything
you want. And that you need. Oh my God. Good love and protection. Look at
I'll make you my selection. I'll show you the way love it's supposed to be.
Oh my God.
Shout out SZA. Congratulations. That's another album to make it onto the to get stamp of approval.
Yeah.
That's the latest album to make it onto the Two Stubborn Nigerians scale. Power to the people about to do maintenance. Thank you so much for watching that video. If you were feeling it, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.